What is happening, guys? Welcome on back to more Wukong. So, this last boss, I think it's the last boss anyway, just because of the vibe. We're just gonna give it at all. We got the save, we got our save backed up so that I can use all my stuff that I want to use. We're just gonna bang our head against the wall till he's dead. All right. Let's see here. Do we have? Yeah, we have the fan active. The fan will be helpful, I think. We've got all these, longevity decoction, enhanced tiger. All right, we're just gonna use everything, and we're also gonna use spellbinder too. I think that's gonna be the best way to do this, to just man out crazy damage. Phase one's easy. I wish I could throw my staff. Alright, next phase, let's go. Save backed up so we can use everything under the sun here. Yeah, I see ya. Damn, that's a huge attack. These long ass attacks, man. Yeah, that's right. What else we got here? Here we got some more stuff we can use. Upon use grants resurrection upon death. We don't have to use that just yet. Upon use, instantly resets cooldown when I don't have spells active. Upon use, instantly recovers full health. It's considerable amount of might. Tenacity. Remove chilled state, remove poison, remove shock. Upon use, massively increases attack. Man, this whole attack sequence is crazy. How'd that not connect? Third phase, maybe? Didn't say defeated yet. There's a third phase, man. We are wrecked. There can't be a third phase, right? That must be the relics that we get back. Yeah, I think so.
You must have heard tales about him. Some say he helped Tung Monk fetch the scriptures, was granted Buddhahood, and stayed on Mount Lingshan thereafter. Some say it was not him who was granted Buddhahood. The real him was already dead on the journey to the west. Some say that the journey never happened. He is nothing but a monkey who lives in some storyteller's tall tale. But now, you will hear a tale which no one has ever known.
Give us our crown. We earned this. This is a hard game. And the true ending. Let's go.
What does it matter if you become a Buddha? That headband has always been on your head.
Keep those eyes wide open. Watch me rip it off and break free.
Soon, Wukong. When you defied the Celestial Court, I had to seal you beneath the mountains with my immense power. Yet, after enduring punishment, you embraced the dark, uplifted good against evil, and subdued Yaoguais throughout the journey. For your contribution, I now bestow upon you the title of Victorious Fighting Buddha.
He defied the Celestial Court, and the Jade Emperor imposed 3 ordeals. Only when the chicken finishes pecking the rice, the dog laps up the flowers, and the lamp burns through the key, the rain will fall.
It's like some Avengers music, man. I gotta say, they did a great job with the animation.
Bottoms up, brothers! One final toast before we crash the Celestial Palace!
Where'd Bajio go? That's the end. Huh. I was not expecting it to be the end. Alright, well, let's talk about it. Alright, where do I start? Let's go over things I liked. Overall, I liked the game as a whole. I think it was a good game, especially from a studio that's never done anything like this. The game was beautiful. The game had so much contrast to it within levels. All the levels and different chapters, I liked the chapter split up. That was all neat. The graphics, obviously. Combat, I like to a degree, but we'll talk in a bit here how that did get stale. Let me turn the volume down here just a tad on this so I can talk. Okay, so... Alright, that's good. Let's... Overall, guys, I like the game. It's a good game. Do I recommend it to people? Yeah, I do. I think it's a fantastic game. You're going to be surprised at my rating, though. I'm only going to give this like an 8.5 out of 10. Or maybe even an 8 out of 10. The reason why is there's just a lot of things that I was just tired of by the end. The combat, while fun, it got stale. Combat got extremely stale, having to fight with a staff all the time. The story just didn't make much sense to me. I mean, I'm not familiar with the Journey to the West, so that's probably why. The story just wasn't gripping in any way or matter. Like, I don't know why at the end of each chapter we had to fight what we had to fight. Like, there's just so many instances like that where I was just kind of trying to figure out, like, why are we doing this? Like, it was just hard to follow. It was an extremely hard to follow story, and I don't know if that's just because I'm not familiar with the source material or what, but there was nothing that was, like, just gripping me to want to figure out what was going to happen next in the story. It was all just about, okay, next chapter, where's this going to go? Is this going to go anywhere? In my opinion, that just really brought the game down in scoring for me. And that leads us to bosses and stuff. There was a lot of bosses that just had terrible hitboxes. There were so many times where I would either just try to attack and I wouldn't even do damage, or even with spells or whatnot, if I'd froze them in time, like I was trying to get focus points up, to be able to attack. There were so many times where I couldn't even do that in some bosses because the hitboxes were so bad. And I'd say the majority of the bosses were decent, but there's just so many of them that were just very, very bad, in my opinion. Boss phases were interesting. I think they did a really good job with the boss phases. The fact that some bosses had like 3 phases, but once you beat the first couple phases, then you could die and then you could restart the 3rd phase without having to restart the whole thing. So that was neat. I really did like that. But overall, guys, I enjoyed it. It was like an 8.5 out of 10 at the most. Not a 9, definitely not a 10 out of 10. This game has its problems. Performance-wise, it ran great. Never had really any problems there. It chugged a little bit here and there in some sections, especially the snowy section. There was a lot of frame drops, but that's probably just my rig, so I can't talk too bad about that. Music was decent. There was a lot of times where the music wasn't even rememberable, though, and a lot of times during fights, boss music just really didn't sound that engaging to me. Not all bosses. Some bosses had some good engaging fight music. But overall, it was just kind of subpar, in my opinion. The chapters, though, I really did like the chapter sections, the different chapters. Let's talk about which chapters I liked and didn't like. I loved Chapter 1. Chapter 1 was great. It introduced me to the world in a really good way, where the bosses were challenging, but they weren't so challenging that it put me off. It introduced us to the mechanics of the game really well. Second chapter was also really good. Second chapter integrated the first non-linear section, which was interesting because we had to explore and try to find the new way around and try to find ways around. Chapter 3 was terrible. I hated Chapter 3. It was a long, agonizing, snowy land that just never seemed to end. It just kept going on and on. I'd kill a boss, walk a few steps, have to kill another boss, have to kill another boss. That was also where we had to fight non-white, which was one of my least favorite bosses in the game. I just hated that boss. The run back to that boss was terrible too. Chapter 3 was just bad all around. I hated that chapter. Chapter 4, the Webbed Hollow. Chapter 4 was all right. Better than Chapter 3, but not better than Chapter 2. And let's see here, Chapter 5. Chapter 5 was the volcano. I love the volcano. Chapter 5 was my favorite chapter. Chapter 5 is where I actually felt engaged with some type of story that was going on. I wanted to know more about the people that lived at the volcano. I thought that was fantastic how they did that. I loved Chapter 5. I loved the secret area there. I loved how they integrated everything. I loved how that chapter flowed. I loved the chapter boss too. Chapter 5 had an amazing chapter boss. And then Chapter 6. Chapter 6 was just okay. I liked how they gave us a cloud to be able to use to fly around. It really opened up the world. It was a different way to go about that section where we had to fight bosses and stuff, but that was just a lot of open land. It was just flying around looking for a boss. Kind of lazy in my opinion. I wish they would have hid some treasure chest around or some little mini bosses here and there to fight for upgrade materials or something like that. It felt very empty besides what we were supposed to be doing in that section. And then, moving into the end of the game, it was cool. You collect the armor and then you fight Wukong basically. And that's how it ends. I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna give it an 8. After talking about the chapters and the sections like that, I have to give this an 8. Just because it just doesn't deserve an 8.5 in my opinion. Enter a new cycle. The Destined One, you can now enter a new cycle and embark once again. Okay, so this is New Game Plus. New cycle, you inherit the levels, talents, armors, weapons, spells, vessels, transformation, and spirit skills obtained in previous. However, be aware that the story progresses and the related key items shall be relinquished. Okay, continue journey. Okay, we're not done yet. Okay. Well, I think we are done. I mean, that's the final boss, but like I said, 8 out of 10. I can't give it any higher. There was just the fact that it didn't grip me, the story didn't grip me. Like some games I play and I am forced to like sit down and want to know what happens next. Like for instance, like Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I could not get away from that. This game, to be honest, I took sections of 5 days off between playing. I never do that, There was just times where I just didn't want to play and I felt like I was kind of forced to play just to finish this out because I do like the game. I think it looks fantastic. I think it feels fantastic. I love the how everything just flows. I mean, all that feels really, really well. So does this... Okay, wait. Bajiel, does this just take us back to... Okay, wait. Where can we teleport to? Can we teleport back to that place where we fought him or not? Does this just, like, basically recap us back at the last boss? Some games do that, where they just recap us back at... So, it just repeaks us... It puts us back here. Peak of Innocence. So it's like we never faced the final boss. Alright, that's cool. But yeah, it was good. It was a fun adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like we got most out of it. I mean, we probably didn't hit all the bosses, but to be honest, I'm just kind of done. I got to a point where I just wanted to get to the end of the game just because I was just kind of... It was getting stale, You can only do this and this and this so many times, There's only so many times to do that before you just get tired of it. Combat just got stale. And also, too, the spells got stale for me, too. Like, there was just times where I would turn on Spellbinder because I was like, these spells aren't even working. Immobilize is not even working on this enemy. And, or this spell isn't working. Like, I don't know. The spells just felt subpar, in my opinion. I feel like they should have maybe made the spells a little bit more powerful to balance it. There was just so many times where I was like, yeah, these spells aren't going to work. We're just going to go into Spellbinder and kick ass. So, I don't know. But like I said, game gets an 8 out of 10. I recommend playing it. Do I recommend buying it right now at high price? It's up to you. If you have extra money laying around and you're bored, you want something to do, I think it's a great investment for that time. But if you are not bored at the moment, you could probably wait till a Steam sale. You'd probably pick it up a little bit cheaper. But that's going to wrap this up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play. I tried to make it as entertaining as possible and tried not to complain too much, even though I know I did quite a bit. But I do like to keep it real, though. I don't like to lie on my channel. What you see is what you get. If I'm irritated, you guys will know it. And I hope that comes across as a good thing. But till next time, guys, stay strong and God bless.